Don't forget your Venetian discount coupon. Picture this, it's 1202. Europe's finest knights are off on a thrilling adventure, the Fourth Crusade. Destination? The Holy Land, of course. They're pumped to liberate Jerusalem, fight some Saracens, and maybe pick up a souvenir or two along the way. Only problem is they booked their passage through Venice. And let's just say the Venetians, those savvy traders, drove a hard bargain. The Crusaders, a bit strapped for cash after a long journey, found themselves in debt to the Doge of Venice, Enrico Dandolo. This wasn't just some overdue library book fine, we're talking a king's ransom. Dandolo, shrewd as a fox and twice as cunning, saw an opportunity. He proposed a deal help Venice deal with a pesky little rival Zara, and he might just forget about that whole debt thing. The Crusaders, probably blinded by the Mediterranean sun and the thought of all that Venetian glass they couldn't afford, agreed. Zara, a Christian city, never stood a chance. It fell quickly, much to the Pope's dismay, who excommunicated the lot of them. But hey, at least they were free from that pesky debt, right? Oh, if only it were that simple. The Venetians, you see, weren't quite finished. They had bigger fish to fry, or rather, a bigger empire to dismantle. With the Crusaders firmly in his pocket, figuratively of course, Dandolo set his sights on a prize far grander than Zara Constantinople, the jewel of the Byzantine Empire. Now, attacking another Christian city wasn't exactly part of the Crusades' mission statement, but Dandolo, ever the smooth talker, spun a tale of rightful inheritance, conveniently overlooking the fact that the rightful heir was a deposed Byzantine prince with about as much power as a wet noodle. The Crusaders, probably thinking, hey, we're already excommunicated, what's one more sin, went along with it. After all, Constantinople was famously wealthy. Surely a bit of righteous plunder could be justified in the name of, well, let's just say religious freedom and leave it at that. So in the spring of 1204, this unholy alliance set sail for Constantinople. Imagine the scene: Venetian warships bristling with weapons and Crusaders bearing down on the greatest city in Christendom. It was about to get messy. Now, you might think that attacking the most heavily fortified city in the known world would give even the most battle-hardened Crusader pause. But remember, these were the Middle Ages, where siege weapons were all the rage and battle plans were about as sophisticated as a barroom brawl. The Venetians, being the crafty devils they were, had a trick up their sleeves, or rather in their shipyards, massive siege towers taller than the walls of Constantinople itself. It was like bringing a trebuchet to a knife fight. The Byzantines, despite their best efforts, didn't stand a chance. The Crusaders stormed the city in a chaotic free-for-all, and Constantinople, once the epitome of Christian civilization, was theirs for the taking. Of course, the Venetians, being the businessmen they were, had a slightly different definition of theirs. They quickly set about claiming the lion's share of the loot, leaving the Crusaders with what amounted to the Byzantine equivalent of loose change. What followed was 3 days of unimaginable chaos and destruction. The Crusaders, those supposed defenders of the faith, ran amok, pillaging, looting, and generally behaving badly. Churches were ransacked, relics pilfered. Seriously, you wouldn't believe the things they took. And priceless works of art were destroyed or carted off to adorn Venetian palazzos. The streets of Constantinople, once bustling with merchants and scholars, were reduced to rubble. The population, caught in the crossfire, suffered unspeakable horrors. It was, to put it mildly, a bad look for Christendom. In the end, the Byzantine Empire, once a mighty power that had held the line against centuries of invaders, was carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey. The Venetians got their trade routes and a hefty chunk of territory, while the Crusaders established the Latin Empire, a pale imitation of the Byzantine glory it had replaced. The sack of Constantinople was a turning point in history, a testament to the fact that even the noblest of causes can be twisted for personal gain. It's also a reminder that sometimes history is just plain weird.